Welcome to this very special episode of the Sentimental Gardener podcast, our very first Christmas special. I'm Cass Dowding, aka the Sentimental Gardener, and earlier this year I started a gardening podcast that really wasn't like any other gardening podcast you'd heard before. Back in March 2025, I followed my curiosity and started asking people about the plants in their lives that had memories and meaning attached to them. This created a collection of human stories, and the gardening podcast actually became about people. I met so many inspiring people this year, and when wanting to create this episode, I thought it might be a little bit sad if it was just me sharing my reflections. Wouldn't it be great if I could almost have a Christmas party for the Sentimental Gardener with a friend, record it, and share it with you all? And there was really one person that came to mind when I thought about who would be perfect for the job. Now, this person isn't someone you've heard speak on the podcast before. I initially asked her to be a guest on the podcast way back in March, and she initially said no and kindly declined. But I'm so glad she did, because I wasn't afraid of her no. And her saying no actually led to the development of a beautiful friendship. We've gone on and travelled hours to visit gardens together this year. We've swapped plants, we've met guests together, and we've laughed until tears have streamed down our faces on more than one occasion. I'm incredibly excited to share the conversation I had when I sat down with my friend and co-host for this episode, Annie Winter, in her home garden a few weeks ago. We tried so hard to follow a plan for what we wanted to talk about, but as any great conversation goes, we went on all the tangents and laughed so hard we couldn't breathe at times. You'll hear stories from listeners of the podcast as I asked people to write in and share their own sentimental plant stories or what they loved about the episodes. Reading those stories has been one of the greatest joys of making this podcast this year. You'll also hear the backstory of how the podcast started, and we talk and reflect on gardens we've visited. We also cover what happens when you nurture relationships with friends who challenge and inspire you. And Annie asks me some questions I wasn't expecting, which led to some surprising revelations about what this year has really been about. We were also honoured to be able to give away a $50 voucher to Kuranga Native Nursery in Mount Evelyn, Victoria, to one of our listeners who wrote in and shared their story. So stay tuned to the end for that exciting announcement. So wherever you are listening to this episode, get ready for some laughs, maybe a few tears, and settle in for the special Christmas episode with my co-host, Annie Winter. Annie, I thought we'd just start with a little bit about who you are and your garden. So your Instagram bio says gardener, so we've covered that.
Yep, covered that. That's Can we just go with that?
Yep. Okay. So say no more. Gardener, and about your garden, I'll read a little blurb that I read recently. So Anne-Marie and Paul Winter have spent a decade transforming their Arthur's Seat garden on an exposed, steeply sloped site. It's not going to work, is it? It's a slopey site. They've created a series of circular voids connected by gravel paths. Further down the slope, predominantly herbaceous perennial plantings graduate to a more native palette around two very old Banksias. Anne-Marie treats the garden as a constantly evolving space where colour, texture and seasonal shifts work together, and where plants must cope with minimal water. The most recent transformation of an unused tennis court has been designed by landscape architect Timothy Mitchell, with an emphasis on reusing materials, resilient native plantings, and the establishment of productive wicking beds. That gives you a little bit of a behind the scenes of where we're sitting today.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful garden. Like, you've got an opening coming up in January for Global Gardens of Peace, so people will be able to, people who already have tickets will be able to come and experience it for themselves. But I will describe it really badly, probably. You've got to see the photos of it. But it is a really immersive type of garden where you literally come in and you feel like you're stepping into a painting. Well, that was my first experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And when I just came today to set up, I was almost again overwhelmed because when I came 4 or 6 weeks ago, it looked like a totally different place because that was late spring maybe.
That's the beauty of the art of gardening. It's it's not a fixed thing. It just keeps evolving. It's a cavalcade of awesomeness.
Yeah. And then so it was really, I just remember it being really pink last time and not as high. And there was lots of the what are those iris? Not ruffled. Bearded irises.
Yep.
And it was a lot lower. And then walking around that corner today, there was so much height.
Yeah, it does happen really quickly in late spring. It becomes this whole beast that you kind of take a step back and you tweak here and there, but at a certain point in time, the garden just says, hold my beer. I'm away.
Yeah. And we've had a really wet spring, a lot of people have been saying. Has that been the same for you guys?
Yeah. It was a really dry winter. So I was a bit concerned about how the spring, summer was going to pan out. But yeah, just this really wet spring, everything's just gone into hyperdrive and it's kind of just trying to keep up with it. And does its own thing, and because I overplant, you just find yourself pulling plants out, like the Achilles. They just get pulled out just to restore the balance. So I do have lots of bullies in the garden. I let them do their thing for a while. They fill the space, they kind of get used, and then they get pulled out throughout the season and just tamed a little bit. It doesn't look like it's tamed, but it has been tamed. It is tamed.
When you say it doesn't look tamed, it has that naturalistic wild feeling to it. But there is like form and function and what's the word I'm looking for? Like purpose to the planting. So
yeah,
I don't think it looks
rando.
No. But even in the randomness, there's it makes sense.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
hope
beautiful.
So. I hope so. Sometimes I have in the past said that when I'm putting things together, I sort of have a bit of a laugh, but I think I've kind of passed that point now, and it's it's all purposeful, and I'm always evaluating if it's still making me feel the way I want it to make me feel, and if it's still the garden I want. And that changes every year because I change every year, and what I see, what I experience, what moves me in the outside world, outside of this little cosmos I've created here. We all evolve. So the garden has to move along with you, and it's it's changed a lot in the time that we've been here, and it just keeps encroaching a little more on the human space. It's at the moment it feels like it's its own being, and I'm just kind of riding the wave.
Right.
Yeah. It's at that point of the year, and then in summer you get into more of a lull where everything slows down, it dries out. The garden's just kind of biding its time, waiting for maybe a little autumn flush when you get a little bit of rain again. So it very much just goes with the rainfall, with the sun. Don't force it by overwatering it or over fertilising it or pushing it along to do things that it doesn't want to do.
And because you're in tank water.
We're on tank water.
Yeah.
So
you don't really water.
I do water if we're having like a run of really hot days, or if I've just planted, if it's the beginning of the season and planted a lot of new things. This year I've planted way later than I would normally plant, but that's because it's kind of a transition year. It's a year when I've gotten to the stage where I've been thinking about things for a long time and where I want the garden to go and how I want it to all come together. And I've finally hit that point where I'm like, let's just try and bring it all together and then stand back and see what it looks like and how it feels and if it's, feels right. So yeah, lots more planting this year than we've ever done in past years.
Yeah. And you've got a new section of the you've got a new section which is the tennis court transformation.
Yeah.
So that has probably added a lot more to your workload, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot. And doing such a big space in one go was just more than we've ever done before, and I found it really hard to wrap my head around the space, and I'm still finding it hard to wrap my head around the space because this was all of this evolved. It came in from the edges, and we gradually brought the space in and added to the plants, and each grouping of each grouping of pants, each grouping of plants. When do I ever say plants?
That's like when I say, I've done that. Plants and dahlias and dahlias.
Each grouping of plants brings you on to the next transformation, whereas with the tennis court, it's just there were plantings around the edge, but there's so much new gone in there, and I'm finding my way around that and fully expect that it will change a lot.
It's pretty cool. Can't wait for people to see it. So, should we share how we met?
If you like.
So, we met this year, really. Actually, this is the thing about having Instagram garden friends. I actually had been messaging you because I went back in the history in like 2020.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know. We were talking about sunflowers, and I'd never seen a lilac, like that lilac-y sunflower before.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, where did you get it from? And you're like, I get it from here. Yeah, so it's funny, isn't
I'm not telling you.
Anyway, so yeah. I'm like, no, you did. And then you told me like all these other ones, like, she's so helpful. It's so lovely.
Just a massive nerd.
No, yeah. No, so I reached out to you to do a podcast episode like earlier in the year. And because I'd seen your garden and I was, asking a lot of people, and you very politely declined, which was great because I totally got it. And then I said, well, because I really, like a little bit of me loves going to see people's gardens. So I was a bit sad, I must say, because I'm like, But then I thought, well, I could just ask her if I could come around and see the garden and there'll be no photos, no recording, no posting on Instagram. And you said yes.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. So I was trying to think about my first time coming here, and I think I was very overwhelmed because it was just such a visual delight and I was just taking in so much. And it was just one of those things, wasn't it? I try to think about like what's happened, but you've always been someone very early on who was like really supportive and, really asking how the episodes went with guests. And then you're like, I really want to listen to the podcast, but I can't. And I'm like, okay.
Thanks.
I love the honesty. And then it was really interesting for me because I wasn't doing any video at the time, and you said that you struggle with listening to podcasts like without a talking head or a moving mouth to follow.
Yeah.
And I've since discovered more people are like that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's really, I don't know, I just, I like to see somebody's face when, and then, I don't know, just read their face and read how they're feeling in the moment when they're speaking, I suppose. Yeah. It's, I still have trouble listening to you.
And I love that. It's so funny. So there's other people in my life who don't listen to the podcast, and that's okay.
I have listened.
No, I'm only joking. And it's actually funny because when we meet people out and about, that sounds so pretentious, when we meet people, but when I meet people who said, you're the Sentimental Gardener, and that sounds so pretentious again, a lot of them say, oh, I haven't listened to your podcast yet.
But you seem like a good chick.
But I really like the social media thing you did of that. So it all goes hand in hand. And I say to people, and I totally get it, like, not everyone sits and, or actually I don't sit and listen to podcasts. I always have something on in my ears, in my headphones when I'm doing really menial tasks like dishes, washing, hanging out washing, housework. I actually can't do those tasks without noise in my ears. But yeah, some people have it on in the car, or some people actually sit down and listen, which is quite,
I tried that. I tried swatting the other day. I had a really good nap.
Yeah. That's cool. I love it. Some people
in the car.
Some people like go to sleep with podcasts.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just a soothing voice that helps them. But yeah, it's so funny because when I listen to podcasts, I actually listen, I think, because I pick who's talking. And if someone sounds really interesting, I'll listen to that. But yeah, anyway, so you're not the only one who doesn't listen.
Yeah. But how did you hook me, Cass?
How did I hook you? Okay. Was it Jane Edmondson?
It was.
Yeah. So because
you dangled the carrot.
Yeah, because Jane Edmondson said yes to an interview, man, I was like, oh, it'd be so good if Annie could come in person, or if you could come in person and hear it.
Yep.
And then that'll also help me because I was so nervous before that interview.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So we went together. Yep. And it was great. It was really good sharing, like for me, sharing that experience with someone as well.
And it was so good. And I'm a serial interrupter, so it was really hard sitting on the sidelines. And Jane was saying all of these things that really resonated with me, and I was like,
you were sitting behind me, so I couldn't see any of that. Like, you're out of my field of vision.
That was really struggling.
Yeah, and then you said that, and I'm like, oh. Yeah. And then since then, and then a note we have to mention about that.
Orange World. Yeah. There's a photo somewhere of me.
Yeah, you went to Orange World,
yeah.
Which if you haven't listened to Jane's episode, her parents actually started Orange World in Mildura.
Yeah.
You went there as a kid.
Oh, we went there. Oh, more than once.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We did
so cool.
all the Victorian sort of touristy things. My mum used to love taking us to, and Orange World, loved it.
Yeah. And then I said to you, oh, well, since you've come to help me, I'll help you in your garden. Or do you know what I mean? I didn't want you to feel like I was taking advantage of your support. So I came one day with my new secateurs.
You didn't tell. I didn't realise they were brand new.
Brand new. Felco number 2s.
Oh, yeah.
And I came and I chopped some of the winter, growth.
Yeah, that was the winter cutback.
But that was great.
The winter cutback of the winter. Well, actually, no, it was nearly spring, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
I just followed instructions. I actually had lots of fun because your friend Julie was working in the garden too that day with us. And I'm like, what's this plant? What's that plant? What's that plant? Millions I had never heard about. So,
yeah. And just, had the cutback routine for all of the different plants,
So, from then on, it was like, all right, well, let's go do this gardening thing together and that gardening thing together, and it's been great.
Yeah, all the different going to visit gardens together and just, having the perspective of a fellow garden nerd because, Paul will go with me, but I don't think he feels it on a deeper level as I do.
Tom's the same. Yeah, he's like, I love that for you, darling, and I'm fully supportive of your endeavours, but you know, it's green. And he's like really good at like lawn, but to go to garden tours is,
Yeah. I mean, Paul likes it, I guess. I mean, I think Paul enjoys going to gardens, particularly of people who we know.
Okay.
And, so that it's that connection, I suppose. And, but when I go with Paul, we tend to look at really boring stuff like, drainage, stuff like that. Whereas it's a totally different experience going to visit gardens with you. It's more like, the whoosh, the feeling, the emotion. What's it telling you? And, I do find myself in the back of my mind going, but drainage.
I'm still to learn all those things.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see those things more though. So, that was our story of the Sentimental Gardener and the gardener.
And the gardener.
The winter gardener.
Full stop.
Yeah. So I thought that now would be a really good time to read out some of the stories from the listeners who came in. Yeah,
definitely.
So, we got some listeners to send in their sentimental stories, and then we thought we'd give them a shout out. So the first one came from Kat in Queensland. I feel like I'm on the radio. Kat in Queensland, are you there?
Tell us about your lemons.
All right. So Kat says, I listen to your podcast at work. Luckily, I'm a full-time gardener, so work is kind of a lot of play. And even though I do it all day, it never takes away from my love of my own garden. I think because they're all different. My garden is a little messy and a little wild, and I can do exactly as I please, even if that's leave the cleanup till another day. That's me.
Me too.
The gardens I work in range from cottage to tropical to native to landscaped masterpieces with topiaries. It's so special. And the best bit is I can always find room for any plant that takes my fancy in one of them somewhere. No plant gets left behind. That's so cool.
That is. I love it.
That's a lot of different styles of gardens that she's working in there. And so Queensland tropical gardens. Beautiful. All right, so that's Kat. Next is Louise from Victoria. She says, my favourite podcast so far, in bracket, she says, I haven't listened to them all yet.
Yeah.
That's okay, Louise.
It's okay, Louise.
Most people haven't. Her favourite podcast episode so far is Emma Cutting.
Oh, fantastic.
Have you listened to Emma?
Yes,
okay.
I do listen to Emma. I love lemons. I love Emma's story. It's a great story.
I think her dream of tiny verge gardens is an outstanding gift to not only her local community, but to the world as a whole. Shows how a small dream can lead to such huge things. Merry Christmas.
And I love the way Emma brings people on board with her vision, and her passion is just so contagious. She's incredible.
Yeah. It's a good listen, that one. The next is from Penny in Victoria. Hi, Cass from Ventnor on Phillip Island. I've loved all your podcast episodes this year, and I'm looking forward to you teaming up with Anne-Marie Winter. You get a full name. She is creating pure magic in her peninsula garden. Having gardening talk in my ears as I go about working in my own garden is wonderful. I loved your episode with Sandra Swartz. So interesting and thought-provoking, but really, they've all been great. As far as sentimental plants go, I have a long list. It seems there are few plants that don't have some memory or evoke some emotion in me, but probably it's the ones that I don't grow in my garden that have a special place in my heart. The native orchids that grow in WA, the spider, donkey and enamel orchids, cowslips and the like that my mum and I used to find on our farm when I was a kid are a significant place mark of a time and location, and when I visit Perth in spring, I love to go to Wireless Hill Park to see them growing wild in bushland, just the way they did on the farm. I could ramble on for hours about other plants, but I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. The donkey orchid is the plant that when I asked Attila, the horticulturist, what plant best represented him, he said the donkey orchid.
Yeah. I love it.
I'd never heard of it before and I had to look it up. Now I will never forget it.
No. There's so many things.
Yeah.
So many things we'll never forget.
Yeah.
From Attila's episode.
This one's from Beth in Victoria. Beth and I went to kindergarten together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it was actually Beth and her family who came with me to do a tour of Joe Ferguson's garden in January this year.
Oh.
And it was her dad that said, why don't you do a podcast instead
fantastic.
of just writing down people's stories? So it wouldn't be here without Beth's dad, Ian.
Why do you think he thought a podcast would be the thing?
Because I said to Joe, what Joe was sharing at the time, all these stories about how people's gardens that she'd worked in, and when they became involved in the garden, they had life transforming experiences that either helped their marriage, helped them recover from some type of challenge. And I had this overwhelming urge pop up, and I just said, like, these are the types of stories we need to hear and people need to share. And I thought, well, maybe I will share them. But I'm like, I said to Ian, I'm like, oh, but writing takes so long.
And this takes a while.
And that's the thing about not, being ignorant, isn't it? You're like, oh, just the podcast will be easy.
Yeah, just record it.
And well, he did say that. He said, you can just get these little mics and you put them on and you get people to talk into them. But I remember thinking when he said that, I suppose another fear of mine was I hadn't written a lot of people's stories and I didn't feel that I would best be able to represent the essence of who they are and their story adequately in a way that someone can tell their own story. Because when you hear other people's stories, you pick up on bits that you see as important, but sometimes you can't, There's a real skill in being able to hear the nuance and see what's important to the other person, I think.
But you definitely do that in the points that you present on your Substack after the podcast.
Okay.
Like the notes that you write sort of make me go back and almost rethink about what I've just heard. Yeah, definitely. I mean, sometimes it's like, oh, yeah. But other times like, oh.
I think also I was in one of those states at the time where I was trying to work out what I wanted to do. And I was just like, if someone said something, I'm like, oh, that might just be the next step.
Yeah.
And I went through the whole, like, when Ian's like, you could do a podcast. And I'm like, oh, who, me?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Say that about everything in life.
Yeah. Who am I to do this? I'm not really a gardener. Like I grow plants. I know, but these are the stories we tell ourselves. I have plants in pots and I've been a bit more braver this year with what I put in the garden. But anyway, so all those things when Ian's like, you could do a podcast. But yeah, he made it sound so simple at the time.
Yeah.
But, that's what you learn along the way. Yeah.
But then what catapulted you? Because it's a big jump between you should do a podcast and actually the effort and the work that you put into the podcast and the degree of professionalism, I guess, is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in.
The setup takes a while, doesn't it? Okay. All right. So I had to prove to myself that I could talk to people. So I went to the landscape conference in March. My husband is really good at talking to people. Yeah. Yeah. And just in a really easy way. So when I went to the landscape conference by myself without knowing anyone in the industry, except I knew Pip from the garden at Moorfield, and I'd contacted her and said, oh, can I just hang out with you or sit with you? So I didn't feel like a loner. And I told people about my idea. And then so it was listening to see how people responded to the idea, and then being brave enough to talk to them in the first place gave me the confidence to try. And so at the time I had those the little lapel mics, and Tom, my husband, was like, just ask people about the plants, just you've got an opportunity with some really clever plant people. Yeah. And it happened to be that Jane Edmondson sat behind us one day at one of the conference sessions, and I just went, I can't swear, but I just went, stuff it, I'm gonna do it. It's now or never. Yeah. If the universe isn't telling you something right now. Exactly. So I got out my little microphones and I asked her to share a story. I asked her if she had a sentimental story about a plant, and then she shared. Yeah.
And that's just from watching the episode with you and Jane, just one story unfolded after another of those sort of relationships, whereas Jane is the kind of person who would just do that and would, perhaps see what that meant to you in that moment to actually share it. And I think that's why we're all so sad, after Friday night and just.
Yeah, with her retiring.
Yeah, I'm going to cry now.
Oh. And she was amazing in person as soon as I gave her the mic, and then, hello, I'm Jane Edmondson from Gardening. And she goes into it and then out it comes, but it's just so natural. And
it is so natural.
She was amazing. And so I also asked James Hitchmo at the landscape conference. I had no idea who he was. And
really?
No, like I said, I was green. I just went, a landscape conference, garden people. Okay, I'm there.
Okay.
So I was in the coffee line on the second day or first day. Anyway, that doesn't matter. And we were waiting for coffee, from a machine. So I just went, I'll just talk to the person behind me and made some type of joke. And then I remember looking at his name tag and then went, I think that's the person on the, program. I went, you're James Hitchmo. He goes, yes. I'm like,
I love it.
I'm, and then I thought, all right, just go for it. I'm thinking of starting a podcast. And this is my question. Can I interview you? And he's like, okay. And then, so it was actually, he was the first one I interviewed. And I hadn't really used my lapel mics before. So I got him like all mic'd up.
Wow.
Had handshaking, had the video because the mics plug into the phone. And halfway through his little spiel about his sentimental plants, and he then started talking about the value of gardeners and all that type of stuff. I realised that the mics weren't turned on. And I remember I was standing there and I realised there was no sound. And I just kept smiling and nodding at him. Yeah. I'm like, thank you so much. And so I have 2-minute video of James Hitchmo talking to me at the landscape conference with no audio. Yeah. But anyway, again, that was a lesson and now I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, check 500 times before we get started.
Yeah. Even as I'm sitting here, I'm watching the computer going, is the sound recording?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And I'm watching the clouds. Yeah. Are we going to get rained on?
Yeah. Long story short, it was trying all those different things and then I just, decided to go for it.
Yeah. Which is such a huge step. I just, as somebody who's a gardener, just a gardener, it just, that leap of faith is just so incredible to me. And you're the sort of, in a much smaller way, the inspiration for my year of saying it's turned out to be 6 months of saying yes.
Yeah, it's only been 6 months, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was really, look, if we go there, the impetus was just, coming to the other side of Tom, my husband's cancer treatment. And he's now 2 or 3 years, it becomes a bit of a blur in that survivorship stage.
Yeah.
And then through his cancer treatment in 2022, you get faced with really big questions about life. And when he had chemo, I just remember seeing the people around us and hearing their stories about, you can't help but overhear people.
Yeah. You do.
There's no privacy.
You do listen in, don't you? Because you're there for 6 hours and you just, you find yourself, you don't mean to. You do listen in a little bit.
And so people who have been told that there's not long to go and there's no other options for them, and then that makes you reflect on your life and you go, and then, someone you love so much potentially wasn't going to make it to the end. And it really makes you assess well, what am I doing with my life? Because I was already grappling with which way I go with, and I talk about this with Chloe on a podcast she's just recorded with me. Do I stay nursing or do I do something else?
Yeah.
So for me, it was a now or never moment. Yeah.
Yep. Whereas similar situation with Paul, and I probably didn't go at it that way. It was assessing what you need in life, but we're in very different stages of life and we don't have kids, so for us it was like, well, what do we want out of life? What nourishes us? What don't we need? And I think for a while there after Paul's treatment, we sort of pulled in a bit, and now we're kind of expanding. It was it was a deep inhalation, and now it's kind of a that exhale. But yeah, Paul's just past the 5-year mark, so
that's so good.
That's such a huge
It is a huge milestone.
And yeah, counting up to it, you kind of like when it's getting close, you don't breathe for a while, and then you exhale and think, we actually can think about things. But I know everybody kind of responds differently, but
fully.
I think for me what it changed was worrying about what people thought of me, I guess. Definitely, like, and the things that mattered, and the I shouldn't get into too deep a thing.
That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah, the things that mattered, and I guess a little bit protecting yourself, which is probably not the right way to go. But but what you were saying about Joe and how the garden brought people something enriched, fixed marriages, made them healthy. Definitely for us, this place and nurturing this place and developing probably a deeper relationship with this place definitely helped through that whole process and gave us something to pour our hearts into, and something to something we were building, and something that we were not in control of, because you're not in control of nature, but it's a thing of beauty to build, I guess. And I don't know.
It moves, like experiences like that can move you in so many ways, and you can either respond in ways that are going to open you up or close you down. And then gardens have a way of opening people up, I think. And Joe's garden, I just had such a drive to share those stories, because that's where the life is, really. Because it was at a time, so January this year it was only nearly a year ago, but I don't know what that drive was, but it just came from within, because it's so easy to hear bad stories. And so I just felt like compelled to share it, and almost in a rebellious way of saying, like, look at the hope that is possible when you get outside and are in a garden. And people can go as deep as they want into seeing how it works on our lives, or we can just keep it basic. So so that's sort of how the podcast came about. There's so much to it, I think, too, but once I had it in my sights and locked in, I was like, yep, okay, we can make it work. I must say, though, just before I started, I was trying to start a business doing freelance healthcare marketing. And I was trying to make it work. And I just kept having all these doors close. And I was like, and then I thought, well, I'll do the podcast on the side, and my work can fund my podcast. And the podcast just happened easily, and people said yes, or most people. No, people said yes. No, but it just seemed to work. I was just
toughening you up.
No, it was good. It was great, but it worked easily, if that makes sense.
It was it was
natural, and I just went, okay, so I'm going to follow this, and the next steps opened up. I'm going to follow that. Okay, the next step to open up.
And I guess
crazy
that just watching that, and I love this for you. Just watching that it's inspired a hermit like myself to be more open, and you're inspiring. You're inspiring.
I was inspired though too, because I didn't just find it. I listened to a podcast called the Robcast. And Rob Bellins is someone who I listened to back when I was like doing church and like quite religious, and he went through a bit of like deconstruction and leaving religion type of thing. And I talk about this with Chloe as well. But he wrote an audio book that started in January, and it was called how to do what you love and still somehow pay the bills.
Okay.
Because there's that concept that a lot of artists will say, you know, I want to really do what I love, but it doesn't bring me money. And he talks through his whole experience in life of how he's been able to do what he loves, which is over time like write books and do all these different things. But he talked through like all the challenges that you have, like imposter syndrome, doubt, fear. And it came at a time where basically when I was setting up the podcast, basically the 11 chapters of the book just literally helped all of those challenges I was going through. So, and then in hearing his story of how he overcame it, I found my own story, if that makes sense.
Okay,
and I went, oh, wow, I can do it. Because, I mean, his story is incredible. He toured with Oprah. Oh. You know what I mean? But he was at that level. But he told the story of how Oprah, when she did her tours, she would sit down in her garden with him. You know, she does her podcast in the garden. But she would pull apart her own work just like all of us.
Right.
So all of these people that we have on pedestals as having it all figured out are actually just like all of us.
Yeah. Okay.
And I went, oh, okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. And the whole idea of like, if it matters for you, it's enough. Like you don't have to chase pleasing everybody with what you do. It's like for me with the podcast, I've always wanted to just focus on the number one, but not to be number one. I just wanted to focus on one person resonating or finding something helpful.
Yeah.
And for me, because, you know, if one person finds something helpful, then they can just take that, what they're doing and an inspiration, and that will grow exponentially in their own little circle. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It doesn't have to be, I'd rather one person get activated almost by something that they found inspiring, like you, and then you go and do all these things, than have 5,000 people who go, oh, that was a nice story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is like, by inspiring you, I was also inspired by someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the great thing. Like we can find our stories in other people's stories.
And in the stories that you draw out, I think, as well, that's sort of a thread that the relationships and one relationship and one experience builds something else, and that it's exponential. It just keeps going. That was one of the things that I really picked up with Roger. You know, just each relationship turned into something else and something great. And he was so, you know, so humble about it. So
yes. I was like,
you know,
oh yeah.
Oh,
you've got all these accolades. He sent me his CV beforehand. It's like 4 pages long.
Oh,
but it's just of all the things he's done. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you did all that before I was even born. Like,
but
just so
incredible.
humble.
Yeah, just incredible. And the way he tells his story, it's just so natural. Like, oh yeah, and you know, and this person, and then we did this, and then and all the way along the relationship with Gwen, and how that built further relationships. And I love the way you. I guess because of your personal experience, the way that you draw that out of other people, that those stories that we might not otherwise hear, you know, things that might seem, you know, dry, become, you know, these human stories. And
it's so true. Like, because with Roger, when I talked to him and found out who he was, I went and I found the encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Although I kept calling it encyclopedias on the podcast, but the encyclopedia. If it wasn't for hearing his story, I wouldn't go buy a set of, you know,
and I love that you searched
native.
it out. And
that's me. I'm like, if I'm into something, I'm all in. Like I buy everything and I go in and I'll find out who you are. Anyway, but with Roger, and that became so apparent with talking to him and then talking to people who knew him. And then you find out the impact on their life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's just crazy.
And that listening to that, you did pick that up too, that it would have had such a huge impact on the people who were involved in that story.
Yeah.
But just so natural. And as somebody who's not like that, It's like looking in on a whole other world, you know. Try, you know, it's aspirational.
Yeah. Yep.
It's what, you know.
Yeah. And it, you know, I make lots of mistakes along the way. Like with Fleur's interview, the camera stopped recording after 10 minutes. So there's no video for socials.
Yeah.
Because I forgot to clear the memory card because I haven't got backups of memory cards, and then there's all these things. Then Roger's audio had
But
this
that
click,
was a
but,
mammoth
you know.
trip.
Oh yeah. And then at Tilla's I'd only had 3 hours sleep the night before because we'd driven from Melbourne to Canberra.
And why? Why?
Why?
Why did you leave so late?
Oh, because I don't know, we have kids and I didn't think, and it was the first time Tom was, we were doing a long trip in the Tesla and we didn't factor in how long it would take to charge along the way. Anyway, it's just, you know, things you learn. But yeah, and then I can't sleep the first night when I go somewhere.
No, I can't either. I never
So that's
can.
another thing I've learnt.
Yeah.
And so I have all these moments through the podcast, last 6 months of like moments of, well, now I know. Press the record button, have all these backups, you know. Now I know.
And right about now,
Yeah.
we needed the Christmas jumpers.
Yeah. I know. They're at home. Oh, man, I know. This is, I thought it would go this way. We just ad-lib as we go. I haven't got to Beth's story yet.
I really
Sorry,
feel
Beth.
bad. I feel bad for how much editing you're going to have to do.
That's okay.
You're doing all the heavy lifting here.
I'm glad
just
it's
like
not live.
Smiling and nodding.
Oh, dear. Well, I'll read Beth's story.
Okay.
There's so much stuff that we could talk about. But yeah, this is a great story about little connections and things as well. So Beth says, I'm in the middle of redoing this section of the courtyard. Oh, she sent me a picture, by the way. That's why it says that. There's this little tree on the right that I've always thought was a stunted lemon-scented gum. I've never been able to bring myself to pull it out because every time I brush the leaves, it smells so good and it makes me lose my resolution. A friend was over last night and I was discussing my planting plans with her and saying I was thinking I really should pull that tree out if only it would stop smelling so good in its defense. And she said, I think that's a lemon myrtle tree. Don't pull it out. I started listening to your episode with Jane Edmondson while I was eating lunch, and then after lunch I went out and picked a bunch of leaves to see if I might like lemon myrtle tea. You can see where this is going. Yeah. I made the tea and sat down to drink it, my first cup ever, and the very next thing that came up on your episode was you telling Jane how much you love drinking lemon myrtle tea.
Aww.
How crazy is that? So I won't pull it out. I think destiny is trying to save it. Isn't that great?
That is. That's so good.
And I got my lemon myrtle tea love from Emma Cutting because when I went over to record my episode with her, she had dried lemon myrtle tree from her tree in her garden.
Oh, beautiful.
Next story is from Rachel from Canberra. So Rachel shares, I've had people ask me the first memory of gardening question a couple of times now, and in the past I've usually said something like, Mum has always loved her garden, but as a child I thought gardening was a boring chore. A lot of kids think that, I think. But obviously the question is really about connection, and that answer doesn't quite fit. Each time I've been asked, it's made me reflect on what my own connection actually is and why my garden is now such a significant part of my life. Only recently, a memory surfaced that I think might be the clue. I remember a particular mountain bushwalk my dad used to take us on. Near the top, there was a ruined farmhouse with the remnants of an old garden. A woman had once lived there, right out in the bush, sustaining herself with what she grew. As a kid, I found that idea completely magical. Each time we visited over the years, the place was a little more derelict, with fewer signs of her home and her life. Eventually, the area became a national park, and so the last traces of the little farm were to be cleared away. So on our final visit, we dug up the remaining produce, a huge clump of ginger, and took it back to the little shack where we always stayed. I'm sure it was used, but I don't remember how. I just remember the feeling.
Oh.
It was as though this woman, someone we never knew and never met, had given us a quiet, nourishing gift. Now sharing what I have learned and grow to nourish others is a great joy. It feels like a continuation of that moment, and I hope my garden will pass that kind of generosity forward.
Oh,
I know. How good is that?
generosity, yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Rachel, her Instagram account is Home Soil, and she does a lot of regenerative vegetable gardening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anita from View Gardens. You've kept me company on so many long drives this year, Cass. If you have to pick one episode, I really thoroughly enjoyed your conversations with Attila. What a zest for life and gardening that chap has. I'll look forward to hearing the lovely Annie co-host with you.
Well, we're not hearing very much. And he's gone quiet.
You can read the next story if you want.
Annie would have to put on her glasses.
You can't do that with a camera, darling. Should we talk about Anita's garden now or later?
Oh,
We'll do
let's
it
talk
later.
about Anita's garden.
Yeah, okay.
Talking about generosity
Yeah.
of spirit. I mean, we went to the garden at Broughton Hall to the plant fair as a big group, and it was such a great day. Oh, my goodness. It was just the best day, the most beautiful garden, just somewhere you just want to spend the whole day. And met up with Anita, who I knew and who I'd met before. And was it the first time that you'd met Anita?
Yeah, she had been texting me on Instagram though.
Yeah. So, and Anita just says, "Oh, why don't you come around to my place?" And just to be able to say, "Oh, yeah, just come around." And so we all arrived, and it was just the icing on the cake of the best day, the best garden people day. We're just all mesmerised just by the beauty of it and how just abundant it is, and how at ease you felt being there. It's just a beautiful, magical garden. And Paul's amazing brew that he makes.
Oh, yeah, that's her husband, isn't it?
Yeah, the amazing brew that he makes.
Because they're off-grid, aren't they?
Yep, they are
So
off-grid.
off-grid, and they make all their own compost teas and like fertilizers, I suppose.
Yeah, aerobic compost
Yep.
tea. And they also they are offering for people to go and learn too from Paul. So that's a really great opportunity as well. But yeah, we just had the most magical afternoon, and just that Anita just without even a hesitation invited us to come around.
It's like 8 of us, wasn't there?
I know, we all just rocked up, and it was just lovely.
And the garden was amazing. Like, there was no tools left out. There was no, half-done pile of things. I'm like, oh, wow, this is...
I know.
But,
it was
yeah, you
like,
could
whoa.
feel just the care and how they nurtured it.
Yeah.
And the other thing with that story is that Anita had listened to the Jane Edmondson episode, and I had shared through socials the Salvia Duriciana cake that Jane talked
the
about.
Cake. That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot about the
And
cake.
so I shared the recipe. Anita was like, "Oh, I've been looking for that for ages." And then she'd been to a plant fair and bought a Salvia Duriciana, not a very big one, but a smaller one. And she said, "I'm making some and I'll bring it to you if you're going to the
that's
fair
right.
at Broughton
It was
Hall."
yummy.
Isn't it great? So then
was
we all
so
sat
good.
there eating the cake. Yeah. Oh, we ate on the way home.
I know.
Didn't we? Yeah.
And if you do follow Anita, you can actually put on weight. Just following
From her
along
home cooking.
her cooking. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Everything
Yeah.
just looks so
No,
good.
she is. She's wonderful. Wonderful human.
And that's the beautiful thing. I mean, it starts out as a connection that you make via Insta, but you sort of, that's been, I guess, one of the great gifts of going to these things with you, I suppose. I guess maybe going as a couple, maybe you're not as open, whereas when we've gone together, people all recognise Cass. Everybody knows the Sentimental Gardener. And I'm just the other one.
It's so funny. It's embarrassing. It sounds so pretentious. Excuse me, are you the Sentimental Gardener?
Yeah,
I'm like,
I was like,
"Oh."
"What?
Yeah, this lady over
I'm a
here
gardener.
has a lot more followers.
I'm a gardener. Annie, gardener. It's me. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just the other one. But that's fine. But the connections are still there, and it's really nice. And yeah, I try to take a leaf out of your book of being, really open. And
you never know who you're going to meet.
Yeah.
And who imagine if we had said to Anita, oh no, we've got to go home, we've got things to, but we would have missed out on that whole opportunity. And now I'm like, need to work out like how I can do aerobic, fertilizer. And, it just opens up perspectives that I had never even knew.
Yeah.
And I have people
to work
are doing
out how to rake a path after I've just thrown all my clippings on it and actually, follow through.
Yeah. So Instagram, it has been, well, it's how we met, but for all the bad things that people complain about, gosh, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing without it. Yeah. And meeting people. But like you said, it's so important to go out and meet people in person. And
yeah, definitely. And just nurture those relationships that you've made because, they are your people, the garden people.
Yes.
Whereas in other aspects of your life, you start to talk about gardening and you just see the shades.
I love
the
it.
glazing of the eyes.
And it's good to have the group of people who get it.
Who just get the...
You can be as weird as possible talking about, oh, this tiny little seedling germinated to them. They're like, yeah. And everyone else is like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Or just the, sometimes we'll just send each other a little morsel of garden joy, especially if something's not going right.
And then you get free plants too from people.
Yeah, free plants is good. Yeah, free plants is always good.
Most gardeners are so generous and they're always wanting to send you home with something or a cutting or
an embarrassment of riches sometimes because I don't really like my method of propagation is often because we've got really great soil, it's often just to bung a bit of something in the ground so that I don't have pots that I then forget to water. So that's my method of propagation and people, lovely people give me plants or seeds or dahlias and things, and I always feel really bad because I don't have like a whole lot of pots of things that I've propagated sitting around. I sort of do it on the spot, or I'll just rip something out for somebody while we're in the garden here and send them home with this poor floppy bit of a floppy Phlomis. I've sent many a person home with a floppy Phlomis. I think I sent you home. Yeah, I did send you home with a floppy Phlomis.
They survived though.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did survive. But I think I posted a floppy Phlomis. And I'm not to Nikki. I'm not sure if she's still got the floppy Phlomis, but I'm not great. I'm not great at reciprocating on that. But when I went to Andrea Jordan's place and somebody else that I met through Insta, and I went and visited her garden in Wandillagong, she sent me home with so many plants, and it's taken over a year for me to find something in my garden that Andrea doesn't have.
Oh, really? Because she's got so many.
So many plants. You have to go one day. So many plants, and finally the thing. And I do kind of suspect that she's just trying to make me feel good as well. I say, I thought, I'll have that. And I'm like, it's a pretty mainstream plant, but anyway, we'll pretend that that's the plant you need. Thank you. You're making me feel better. But I'm and then Attila's give me awesome plants, and I haven't managed to reciprocate. I'm just a bad gardener. Just a bad gardener.
No, not a bad gardener. But well, I'll get on to the last story from Alison. And she says, I think I have too many sentimental plants. I'm with you there. I'm always associating plants with people and times of my life. It's not my favourite plant by any stretch, but I have a Grevillea Robin Gordon from the country garden I grew up in, and it's the first plant I knew by name. I remember being so shocked to discover later that plants didn't always have first and last names.
I love that.
Isn't that great? Because the Grevillea was Robin Gordon.
Yeah, I like it. First and last names. That's so good.
It's so good, isn't it? Well, we've sort of covered threads and things between episodes. Were there any other episodes that you listened to?
I listened to so
No,
many.
I'm only joking.
Actually, there was there were things in all of the ones that I did listen
Yeah.
to. There were just things that resonated in every one, you know, and it could be the smallest thing, like Chloe talking about how she went to the landscape architecture to find out about doing landscape architecture, and she just said to her, no, this isn't for me. And I had completely forgotten, because when I finished school, I wanted to study fine art and didn't get in. So then went off and did basically a course to build a folio so that I could then apply again to get into fine art. And I had totally forgotten that I had looked into landscape architecture. I mean, totally forgotten. I'd always been interested in gardening. I'd always helped Mum in the garden. I'd tried to kind of influence where the garden was going, because there were things in the garden that I hated, and I wanted to change. And I had actually thought about landscape architecture, and I had completely forgotten that was one of the things that had appealed to me until I went and looked into the course, and just it didn't feel right. And so when Chloe said that, it's like, wow, there's a memory that
came out of nowhere.
Now suddenly makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
But, you know, it was always gardening was always a thread, but I didn't kind of know what thread it would be, and certainly didn't realise that it would be so much to me. So it could be just the smallest thing like that, or, you know, Orange World, or there were so many things in Jane's. There were so many things in Attila's.
Oh, yeah.
Because
you know Attila too, don't you?
Yeah.
You visited his garden before.
You know, to know Attila is to love Attila.
Yeah.
and the great thing about Attila is, you know, you don't have to say much, because
he's really good at sharing.
He's and such a kind and generous person, and always so willing to share, and always so, like, I've asked him so many questions that I probably could have Googled, but it's just, I like opening up those conversations, and, you know, sometimes that's the best, sometimes it's a good way to touch base, you know, like,
it's
because
so true,
especially when your lives are really different, and this is the thing that connects you. So you could Google it, or you could just, you know, shoot Attila a question, and then that opens up another conversation. You know, one day we started with plants and ended up with menopause, and it was like, how did we get there? So I can't believe we're having this conversation. But anyway, whereas, you know, other blokes that you even start to go, I was like, whoa,
let's go back to plants, please.
Apple.
That's what happened with us, though. We started with plants, and then we went, life.
Yeah, life.
You know, and I think that's, sorry, did you want to say
the conversations you have in the car on the way to or from a garden thing too, because I don't know, somehow visiting gardens opens you up to all the feels, and then you start with the feels of the garden, and you ended up with the feels of the feels.
Yeah.
and then you both cry.
You got to find your people that get it, though, that can cry with you in the garden.
Yeah, whereas, and don't just go, oh, God, this is so boring.
It's a great, like you said, you know, you can do small talk, or you could just talk plants, and that just opens up the doorways. I think, and that's what I realized when I was thinking of starting the podcast. Like, everyone has a plant story, even if they're not a plant person. Yeah, or most people, I should say. I haven't talked to everyone yet.
Oh,
but
you will.
Even
that's where you're going.
Yeah, but most people will have a grandma who did the veggie garden, or a pop who grew dahlias, or So everyone's got a plant story. It's a great equalizer or connector, I've really found.
And I kind of think people have plant personalities too.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, well, like when I'm thinking about like sentimental plants, and I have told you this as well, and the thing about like the plants that I associate with each of my parents, and so the Daphne is mum, and each year when it flowers, it's like the fragrance, and it's just a moment in the garden. So you'll be moving through the garden, and it's that feeling. Whereas, the plant that I have of my dad's is a volotta, which is, fire engine red. And that just says so much. I don't know that I need to say much.
Yeah, that's it.
Just like,
just give people the picture.
Yeah. So, and I guess also when I moved through the garden, because I have been given so many plants, that people have been so generous, it reminds me of being with that person or being in their garden, or just I like to find places for the plants that people have given me, and it's almost like, moving through a life in gardening, just walking through the faces, and I know there's Alison's spiraxes, and there's Andrea's everything, and so many dahlias from Lovely Belle that and so many that haven't made it, and the guilt of gifted plants that haven't made it, and
it's a lot, isn't it? It's like, here's my precious gift to you, and you're like, oh, am I going to keep it alive? It's too much pressure.
Yeah, and I love that. I love the way that's offered as well, the way that those gifts are offered, and it just makes you feel so nurtured, and it's just an expression of, here's something I really love.
Yeah.
Have a bit of it.
Love it. I want you to love it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I do the same. I walk through the garden at home, and normally it's when we're walking to the car, like going somewhere, school drop off or something, and I'll stop and be like, oh, look at Grandma's hydrangeas. I think they're turning blue instead of pink, and having those conversations. That's all right.
I love the story you told me about Gracie, though.
Which one? There's a lot of stories.
the ones that you can share and that Gracie won't hold against you. No, the story. Well, there's been a couple of stories you've shared that have really, made me cry.
Oh.
And one was the one that you shared where when you were interviewing Jane about Ezzy.
I can't think of it. You're going to have to tell me it.
Fragrance, when you were talking with Jane about, and Jane brought plants with fragrance, and just talking about how the fragrance of plants can evoke feelings. And I really loved the story that you shared about Ezzy. That got me.
Oh, yeah.
That got me crying. And then the other day you shared another story about Gracie. Do you want to share that story?
I can't remember the story.
God! Mother of the Year. So I'm totally moved by these stories. They rock my world, and you can't remember. Okay.
It's midlife brain fog.
Hello. So you told me the other day that as you were walking out of the house, Gracie said, our garden is...
Oh. What did she say again? She said...
I promise not to swear.
Okay. No, this is really bad, but I do struggle with brain fog. She said something like, I love our garden.
Yes.
It's pretty crazy, but it's us, or something like that, isn't it?
And that was like, because you'd had a bit of a week.
Oh, yeah.
You'd had a bit of a week, and that was just one of those wins that we share with each other, like when we've had a bit of a time of it, or when
we're 45 minutes late to school, but
but our garden,
our garden's lovely. Like, this is the point it just surprised me because it was a morning, and we were trying to get to school, But that was the morning that she decided to stop and appreciate. And that was cool because, they don't necessarily get outside and help at all. They'd much rather be doing other things, which is fine. I don't want people to be under the illusion that my kids are out doing gardening and things with me. And then sometimes you can be a bit like, oh, I just wish there was, I hope I'll pass something on to them.
And in that moment,
I realised.
You realise that even though it's not overt and they're not out there in the garden with you all the time, it has, something has transpired. So some magic has happened and your passion has manifested.
Yeah, because I don't have the most aesthetically well-designed garden. I work within the constraints of like renting and then not wanting to invest a lot in soil improvement, and do you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to grow a lot in pots and things like that. Yeah. So sometimes I can be a bit like, oh, I don't really want to share my garden because there's so many other gardens, amazing, But where I'm at on the journey is I understand that everyone's at different places and it's all about the process, not the product and the outcome. That's still beautiful. But so to have her appreciate that beauty of seeing the nurturing, I think see her value. Yeah,
and
that's beautiful.
Also, that she perhaps picked up that Mum needed reassurance in that moment, which is that lovely intuition. Yeah, and I think it's beautiful that even though you don't feel like they're that involved in the garden, obviously they are, and your passion does have an effect on them, and they're proud of you. Yeah, I think so. Oh yeah, they are. As he said to me the other day, when are you going to have a break from this podcasting this year, Mum? I'm a bit worried. All you seem to be doing is recording and putting it out. And I said, we're just a couple more to go and we'll have a break over Christmas. But I think one of the they were most excited because I started writing for ABC Organic Gardener magazine this year. And so it was pretty cool. They went to school and they were like, oh, my mum's written for a magazine, because I think they're in English class, Wonderful. And that was cool. Yeah. So or they do gardening at school, and they'll tell Jerry, the gardener, oh, yeah, my mum's friend with Jane Edmondson from Gardening Australia. Oh my gosh. I've been trying to work out a natural way to just put up that photo that you took of Jane, and I was just like, just me and Jane. Yeah. But lost it. I had something and it's gone.
It's okay. We've gone on so many tangents, but that's okay. There is no tangent.
Where are we on the run sheet?
Well, we've done the first section. And the sun is setting. But that's okay. We were going to talk about, we sort of talked about we've done the stories. We talked about the threads between some of the episodes. And I think then we were going to talk about firsts.
First, you've had lots.
Yeah.
Did you want about all your
but I've talked a lot about me. Did you want to share your firsts?
Enough about me. Let's talk about what do you think of me? Oh, first. Okay, first. First of having my face on Instagram. I don't remember who did it.
I know. It was Claire Tackix, or it was Joe Ferguson when they came around.
Oh, that's right. It was
because I commented, went, oh, that's what you look like.
That's what you do. That's why you lead with the garden pics. Anyway, that's okay. So that was like trying not to be mortified when you are somebody who just likes to, just hide behind your garden, I guess.
Yeah.
So that was the first. And then the things that kind of came from that So people were like, oh, she has a face. And then suddenly people started contacting me by direct message because I think they thought I was an enigma.
Oh, an enigma.
Yeah. And lots of people saying, I thought you were a lot older.
Oh.
Yeah, so I do obviously have those kind of vibes. I think it's because I'm a very sweary bear in real life. So when I'm communicating, when I'm communicating and not using my natural words choice, the best I can come up with is wonderful and lovely, and I guess that perhaps makes me seem like I'm an older person.
I use lovely a lot.
I know, but I can't say the word that I can't say.
You've done really well. You haven't sworn yet today. You've done really well.
It's like some kind of miracle, and that's possibly why I've been pretty quiet. Because anybody who knows me knows that, whoa, I swear a lot. But we're talking about whoosh. And what was you wanted to know my word. What?
Well, we'll move that. We've gone from first. Let's go to whoosh.
It's getting dark.
I know.
It's getting dark.
We need to go and have some, what are we having, gin or cider or Prosecco?
Oh, look, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's talk about whoosh. So the word whoosh came from the podcast with Fleur Flannery.
Yeah.
Best name. And she described whoosh as the feeling you get when you are taken away with emotion in a garden. And we call it the whoosh feeling. I tried to explain it once in something I wrote, and it's like, cracking you open from the inside and the glow. And she said whoosh, and we were like, is that what it is?
Simple.
It's so simple.
Yeah. But yeah, so now I try to sub that word in instead of the word that I actually say when something's really cracking good.
Whoosh.
Whoosh. Yeah, I try to.
I love it.
I try to bring it back to G.
G rating.
Back to G
All right,
rating.
so why don't we talk about what gardens this year have you been to, or anywhere anytime where you felt a whoosh?
Oh, look, Louise's garden, Brentwood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brentwood. Louise's garden, Brentwood. It's just, I visited it when she opened it last time. So just one of the gardens that had a huge effect on me the first time I visited a number of years ago. And almost you sort of worried about going back when it was open again not long ago. And I took a friend who is new to the horticultural world, and it was kind of, isn't that hard when you're sharing something you love with somebody and you've really built it up and you're like, how's this going to be the next time? And again, it was even more of a whoosh. It was even more of a whoosh going back. And what was beautiful was seeing how it affected my friend Beck, seeing the emotion in her, and that was just like, this is something.
Double whoosh?
Double whoosh. Yeah, this is something really special. There's just, and you could see it in everybody who was walking around, just those moments of wonder. And I don't know how anybody could move through that garden and not feel something. It's just beautiful isn't the right word. It is beautiful, but transformative, moving. It's a moving, soulful garden. I guess, that's the thing. Some gardens just have soul and they just move you. Attila's garden, I've been to Attila's place a couple of times now, and it just, you can't help but be moved by being there, being with Attila, listening to Attila, watching the way Attila moves through the space. It's an incredible garden. It's an incredible place to be. The day we're at Brighton Hall, I've been to Brighton Hall a couple of times, and I think sometimes it's the company you're with and sometimes it's the whole day. And that day was just a really new friendships as well.
Yeah.
That day, I think. So there's that as well. I think the fact that so many of us came together that day and it was a really, really beautiful day in a very, very, very beautiful garden. So seeing it with new eyes as well. What other gardens have moved me? Oh, I find something in every garden that I visit. There's always, I try to, and it's the same when I'm looking through Insta, you know, it doesn't matter what the garden is. I try to imagine the moment that the person took that photo, what they were feeling and why they wanted to share that moment.
Yeah.
I try to, sit in their space, I guess. So, lots of whoosh moments from gardens, different gardens this year. And probably I didn't visit as many as I wanted to. I'm not sure it was a huge whoosh moment visiting May's beautiful garden because it was so wet. But, man, it was so beautiful to see everybody there for May.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah.
The fact that we were all there on this heinous day, just totally heinous day. And there was so much love for that beautiful, beautiful garden.
Yeah.
And, I got to go back last week and see it in the beautiful sunshine and
so
all
good.
the flowers coming out because it's a little bit later. And, just love May's garden.
Yeah.
It's so May. It's so beautiful.
It's so true, isn't it? How they're reflective of the owners. Yeah. And their owners' stories as well, because she had stories with all her plants as well.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. She's wonderful. Meeting her has been a highlight of my year this year.
Oh, good.
New plant friend. Lots of plant friends through meeting you and through the podcast. So all the guests are now friends, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made these beautiful relationships.
Can I tell you about my first whoosh moment?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Because I think it is important to this whole experience of doing the podcast was in Joe Ferguson's garden.
Yeah.
And it's a whoosh moment that I can just replay in my head. And I just walked from around. She's got these olive trees that are close to the house where you park the car. And you walk around and you walk into I think it's the back garden where it's all, beautiful perennials. And that's when I think that's the first whoosh moment I've had. I've had whoosh moments at Cloud Hill because I haven't actually gone to many open gardens. I've really only gotten into all this garden visiting just from January. So, it's a really huge whoosh moment. I've had whoosh moments here in your garden, Tilla's garden. I have to say everyone's garden, otherwise everyone feels like, Ralph's garden was a huge whoosh. We went together to Ralph's garden. Yeah, that was just like whoosh moments. But I'm the same as you. Like some of those whoosh moments are because of the time spent with people. So
definitely the time.
Anita's garden. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Anita's. Yeah.
So I'm going to wind up because we're getting cold and the sun's nearly gone down.
Actually, I'm trying not to shivering make a sound.
I'm shivering too. I normally finish each podcast with 5 quick fire questions. And I thought, even though you're a co-host, I'm going to ask them to you this year. Okay. So first one, the ultimate song to accompany a golden hour video for your garden that best reflects how you see it.
It's so boring. It's my one. So I just
just share it.
No, it's just like it depends on the time of year because in spring I hear Iggy Pop, Kanda, Kanda, Kanda. I don't know why. It's just like that spring sugariness and everything's so sweet and candy like. And then, it's the different and then, sometimes it's David Bowie golden years like it's
That's so funny.
Why?
Just I love it.
Is that an
No, because I have classical music in my head for my garden. I know.
No, I know.
I love it how you're like all these other.
I never hear. Like sometimes guitar, but usually it's often pretty literal. Actually, it's like
Okay.
It's
So
often
good.
it's often a lyric for me as much as like a beat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not classical. It's not classical. It's never classical.
It's never classical.
It's like as close to classical as it gets is sort of Nick Cave and Warren Ellis, kind of, those soundtracky type. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So number 2, a plant superpower you'd love to have. It's like, cactuses are spiky or some are carnivorous. So carnivorous. I know. What's a superpower you'd love to have?
Okay, so like wholesome me says wholesome me thought like to have a wide canopy so can shelter.
Oh,
and
that's lovely.
and because people want to hang out with you as well. Because
that's amazing.
that was like one idea. But then I kind of thought the other one was I would just like to be like a poppy. Just like, and I can't say this without swearing.
You can swear and I'll just beep it out.
Okay. What I like about poppies is like you can have an idea about what they're going to do and where they're going to go, and they just go, I'm in your paths. And I just want to be a poppy. I just want to be like, this is me. I'm here. And how freaking awesome am I?
Is that why they call it tall poppies in China? The poppies are like, here I am. What are you going to do about it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or I'm all up in your junk.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I love people. I ask Chloe that question. I love I have no idea, and people just the way they think, it's so good. All right. Sun's nearly gone down. Number 3, a garden you'd love to visit that you haven't been to yet.
Well, there are 2. I'm cheating on all fronts. So I'd love to go to Great Dixter, but also I would so love, because I was lucky enough to meet Jill and Richard from Fisherman's Bay Garden in March, and just meeting 2 of the loveliest people you could ever meet, and how generous and kind they were in their appreciation of our humble garden. And just how they related everything to their magnificent garden that everybody knows of, and it was just so generous and so lovely, and I would just love to be with Jill and Richard in their garden. And
can I come?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go. We're going.
Next year, the Sentimental Gardener goes to New Zealand. Is it New Zealand? Yeah. Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'd love to experience their garden.
Okay, 1 word or sentence to describe how you feel when you're in your garden.
Yeah, well, then there's the swearing again. So, do you want me to clean it up? Or?
Yeah, give us a clean version.
I'll give. So, oof.
Love it.
Or often I would go nom nom. Nom nom. So I've tried a couple of times to be one of those people who can do voiceovers.
Oh, really?
And like walking around their garden, and I just end up sounding like a Nerf ball because I say things like, I did one today actually. I was trying to do one like in preparation for Cass, and I was like, oh, look at my garden, it's shit hot. Oh my God, I'm such a Nerf ball. But yeah, it's generally swearing. Sorry.
Okay. That's okay.
It's like,
can't say I've had that one before. Okay. A person you'd love to chew the ear off and sit down and chat gardens with.
Ooh, okay. Too many.
Too many.
Too many. Oh, actually, I did think of one. Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like as many as there are.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Lucy Cullerton, who's just, she's a legend.
Yeah.
She's just a legend, you know, her art, her life, her menagerie, her garden, just the whole thing. I just love to sit down and talk gardening and everything with Lucy.
Yep. That's so good. So to round things off, we'd love to announce that one of our listeners who've written in with their sentimental story or a story about the podcast, they've won a $50 voucher to Karanga Nursery. That's a native nursery, Australian native nursery in Mount Evelyn. And we'd love to announce today, or tonight now, that the winner is Beth.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
It's a beautiful story.
Yeah, it's so great. I love it. All the little connections along the way. So, Beth, you can go and spend your $50. So let's finish up then. I want to say a big thank you to you, Annie.
Aww.
Thank you for letting me come and record in the winter garden.
Oh, it's just been freezing.
Next year I'll bring the ugly Christmas sweaters. No, it really has. And meeting you this year has been a highlight.
Oh,
yeah. And
nobody ever says that.
Really? Well, there's always a first. Add that to your first. No, it really has. And I've loved going on garden tours and being silly. Oh, talking about being silly.
Oh.
That picture that we used to announce the Christmas special.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
No, we didn't. We'll quickly talk about it. So when that picture was taken on the tennis court transformation site.
Transformation.
And I went to take some photos and I discovered the shadows of the plants. And then I really think I discovered that I look at plants as shapes like dancers make shapes.
And we said, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Let's be plants.
Let's be plants. Did we decide what plants we were?
No, I don't think so.
I think it's pretty obvious from the shadows who is the dancer.
Oh, so we went abstract, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we
interpretive
dance and we did dance shapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was definitely like a rock orchid or something. And
I had bits going everywhere. I don't know what I was. I was I don't know that many plant names like you do.
Do I?
I don't know.
I certainly can't spell them.
Maybe I was some type of grass or something. Let's call it a miscanthus.
Yeah, you're a miscanthus.
Yes.
No, you're not a miscanthus. You're you're more a Carl Forster.
Oh, Carl
Tall
Forster.
Tall and
wavy.
Tall and wavy.
Big dip over here and dippy over there.
I'm a curry plant or something. I don't know. I'm looking around. What am I? Yeah, no. Yeah, probably a curry plant.
A curry plant. Okay. Don't know where to go from there. So maybe we'll just round it off and say it's been an amazing 6 months of the Sentimental Gardener.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I
As
hope
somebody who's nearly listened to most.
well, you've got the rest of the year and the holidays you can listen to them.
Yeah, well, heading to an open garden on Sunday, so I will have it on in the car on the way there, on the way back, definitely. Awesome. You're always the voice in my head.
Hello, I'm the Sentimental Gardener.
Senti G.
Senti G. So, yeah. Thank you. And thank you everyone for listening and for sending in encouraging words. But it's been a joy and a delight to go on this journey with gardeners, sharing garden stories. So,
and so many more next year.
So many more to come next year. Yeah.
Can't wait to see who you've got lined up.
Yeah. I'll have to go do some more asking. But yeah, got a list.
But first, A break.
A break.
Have a break.
I'm going to have a break. Tidy up my own garden. Go and visit some gardens.
Well, you've got no
Go down the
plants left.
beach.
You've just given me a whole...
Coming to your garden in January. Yeah.
Yes. And it will be warmer.
Yeah.
Please let it be warmer. Yeah. How are we going to get rid of all the laughing?
We don't. We don't. No.
You don't get rid of the laughing?
No, you just put it in there. So a huge thank you today to you, Annie, for being my co-host on this inaugural occasion.
Possibly the first and last.
Thank you to everyone who's listened and to all my guests as well for being so generous with their stories and for letting this little home gardener come in and ask them lots of questions. It's been a year of incredible stories and growth and learning. So we wish everyone a very happy and safe Christmas, and we hope that you get to do what you love at the end of this year with the people who love you. Listening back to this episode during the editing process, this is what kept coming up for me. 1. Just 1. I didn't start this podcast with grand plans of world domination and charting at number 1. I wanted to make something that collected the stories that spoke to me when I talked to plant-loving people. If I could give one person hope, one person motivation to get outside, if we could show one person how special plants are, if we could break down the intimidation of good garden design, then I felt I'd done my job. But if we pare it back further, that number 1 really started with me. One person who realised she had a question. What is this thing asking me to explore? And how do I make sense of it? Through the help of others who'd been before me, I made a commitment to just put one foot in front of the other and take the next step when I was unsure. I'm just going to ask the next person, ask the next question, press the record button, and then press the share button. Most of the time this year, I've been learning as I go, like how to make a podcast, how to have these conversations, and how to navigate the horticultural world as an outsider. I was just really simply trusting the process. The artist Robert Irwin captured this feeling perfectly in Lawrence Weschler's book, Seeing is Forgetting the Name of the Thing One Sees. He shared, maybe I was just gradually developing a trust in the act itself, that somehow, if it was pursued legitimately, the questions it would raise would be legitimate, and the answers would have to exist somewhere, would be worth pursuing, and would be of consequence. That trust they're talking about, that's what's carried me through this year. And here's what I've discovered. When you commit to one authentic thing, it scatters like seeds you can't control. Just like in the garden and outside, one seed head can release hundreds in the wind, and you're never going to know where your story will land or who it's going to inspire. Maybe you'll hear Hayden's story and finally come out of the closet as a gardener yourself. Or perhaps Rhiannon's episode will remind you that even if you don't think of yourself much of a gardener, plants have still shaped the lives of people you came from, and that matters. You might hear Sandra's story, and the next time you see a copse of birch trees, you'll know in your bones that the outside world is healing your inside world. Emma's story might remind you how nurturing a tiny patch of dirt on the footpath can spark a whole movement and connect a city from one end to the other. Each conversation this year has revealed something different about how plants shape our lives. Linda's journey of building a new house and garden from old materials might remind you that what we create with our hands becomes the very thing that sustains us in our later chapters. Jocelyn's story might help you notice how you feel when you're away from nature and green spaces and lead you right back towards what brings you life. Perhaps Deb's story of showing flowers as a child and then going on to be a champion dahlia grower and shower might inspire you to look for your own community where you feel like you belong. Chloe's generous sharing of knowledge might give you the confidence to understand how the whole gardening thing actually works. And Jane's refusal to give in to the no's might encourage you to find your own place in the horticultural world, wherever that might be. You might be moved by Attila's dedication to living a life from observation, not expectation. You might feel permission from Fleur's ability to ask, what is it that makes you feel a whoosh without judgment? Be inspired by Roger Eliot's lifetime of revealing the web of life that connects people, plants and place. Or let Ralph's way of seeing through listening remind you that a garden is something to grow with, not against. It's enough to try. It's enough to begin. And it's more than enough when we can do it together. Thank you so much for being a part of this first season and for sharing your stories and for letting plants connect us in ways I could never imagine when I pressed the record button back at the start of the year. The Sentimental Gardener podcast will be back in March 2026 with more great conversations with plant-loving people, so make sure you subscribe wherever you listen. The first episode is great and it's with Tim Pilgrim, author of Wild by Design, a garden designer. And then it's an episode with Chloe Foster and me where we swap roles and she asks me all the sentimental questions. As always, a huge thanks to Hayden Schuler for being the very first guest and for creating our theme music, and to my greatest support and husband, Tom Dowding, for fine-tuning the audio mix, often at 11 p.m. at night. I'm going to leave you with a little outro from Annie and I that didn't make the Christmas special, but before I do, I want to acknowledge that the episode was recorded on the lands of the Bunurong people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging. So wherever you are this Christmas, may you find a small moment of whoosh.
And hopefully it's not just because somebody left out the prawns. Whoosh. Whoosh. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.